right, so we're just starting in a comfortable seat the way we always do. Sitting in my son's bedroom in Los Angeles, so a little different surroundings than you're used to. Take a second to wiggle around and to find the earth, side to side, sit bone to sit bone. Maybe rock forward and back a little bit. And when you find that perfect seat, the word asana describes this. Close your eyes and settle here. I'd like you to start to notice your breath as a cleansing practice. Each exhale today is going to be like a mini shower, just rinsing away the residue of yesterday. Think of your breath like a shower. You've been out working in the yard and how good that feels to just let the water wash away the residue. Each breath, cleansing your body, releasing toxins, leftovers, stuck energy. And right after that exhale, that mini shower, there's room for this new breath. Today, our physical focus is on strengthening the back in order to find a little more space in the front. So I'd like to introduce the first subtle movement that we'll be working on today, and we're going to start at the neck and make our way down today. So the first movement is just an inhale, lifting the chin, and an exhale, lowering the chin. Moving through this range of motion slowly. And I'd like us to see if we can find the place where it feels like we're dumping into the neck. And I'd like you to just stop short of that place as you lift your chin and come into what we would call cervical spine extension, but not hinging, not dumping into the bottom of the neck. See if you can feel that. It's super subtle. It's stopping right before you get to the end of your range of motion. And we're going to hold that for a couple of breaths. Reach back with your fingers and see if you can feel a smooth back of neck. So no wrinkles in the skin on the back of the neck. It should feel like your neck is being lifted and long. And there's easy flow of breath. It's quite opposite of hanging our heads over our phones. And then come back to neutral where your chin feels parallel to the floor. And let's start to use our shoulders. So we're going to wrap our shoulders onto the front of our body, kind of like when you're driving or sleeping or typing. And then pull your shoulder blades back onto the back of your body. Exhale, pull your shoulders forward. You can do anything you want with your arms. It might be interesting to pretend you're in the weight room and you're doing like a seated row. Shoulder blades forward, shoulder blades back together. A little anatomy here. This is scapular protraction and scapular retraction. And what we're looking for here is on this retraction, we're looking for really active muscles that hold those shoulder blades onto the spine. We'll do this one more time and then we'll hold, protract, and retract. And I'd like you to hold the scapular retraction, relax your hands, and return your chin to that spine extension. And just see sitting here if you can feel the relationship from the base of your skull to the bottom of your shoulder blades. Deep breaths. There's strength back there, and then look in front, there's softness. And then relax your shoulders, kind of shake them out a little bit. And then hands to the knees. We'll move down into the middle of the back. So seated cat and cow, this is the movement that you're probably very used to. I'd like you to see if you can move from right about where your bra strap would be if you were wearing a bra, or a sports bra, kind of the bottom of the band. Move from there. Exhale, pulling backward. Inhale, pressing forward. And then just start to add in the shoulder blades and the neck. So you're moving super slow from the middle of your back up through the shoulder blades and into your neck, both directions. Each exhale, a mini shower, cleansing. Come back to center, reach your arms overhead, take a huge breath in, look up, and then twist to your right side, ring out. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, twist to the left side. Move with your breath. Move with awareness of those three parts of the body that we've already identified: middle back, shoulder blades, and neck. We'll get into the lower body next, but really paying attention to that upper portion. And let's even it out, come back to center, and just feel the brightness from the bottom of your ribs to the top of your head as things wake up a little bit more. Let's come around to all fours, patting up under your knees if you'd like. And we'll start to move through cat and cow here. But what I'd like you to do is kind of keep the pelvis still, and let's see if we can move cat and cow through the parts of our spine we've been working on already. So from the middle of the spine, the shoulder blades squeeze together, the neck comes into extension, but not all the way back. And then exhale, pull right up from that middle back, shoulder blades protract, chin comes to chest. It's a smaller version of cat and cow. It's kind of upper cat, upper cow. So much going on in this upper portion of the body in these back bending poses. And we kind of take it for granted and just dive in to our neck and our low back, but look how much is in between those spaces. Come to neutral, keep your hips over your knees and walk your hands way up to the front of your mat. Let your chest and head drop down, come into puppy pose. Deep breaths here, a little wake up call for your chest and your shoulders. Coming all the way down onto our belly, we're going to look at our pose of the day, which is Locust Pose. So let the arms come down to the sides, palms face the floor. And we're going to add in a new movement. So the movement is shoulder extension. I'd like you to lift your arms as high as you can and then lower them. And just move with your breath. See if you can feel where this strength comes from, the back of your shoulders. Just putting this pose together piece by piece by piece. We still haven't started to really lift the torso, just the arms. And then let's raise the arms as high as they'll go. Palms are facing down. Add in shoulder blades together and begin to lift from the middle of your back upward. Again, not crunching the neck, but just looking forward. See if you can feel the upper portion of Locust Pose. And release. Hands pressed to the mat. Come up to tabletop, widen the knees, and press to child's pose. Allow yourself a big exhale here. Good. Coming back up to all fours, tuck your toes. Let's lift into downward facing dog. Let's start to move now into the lower body. Pedaling the heels, pressing down. There's a little tug of war here from the heels rooting down to the sitting bones lifting up. You move those 4 bony parts of your body in opposite directions from each other. Heels down, sitting bones up high. Starting to find that space in the back of your legs. And let's take a slow walk to the top of our mat. Knees are soft. Let your fingers touch your elbows and just bob your head around a little bit here. Kind of loosen up all the back of the body. We've been working. And we're going to start to notice the lower back now. We're going to bring that into the game. So hands pressed to shins. Inhale, flat back, and you'll feel these muscles here just above your waistband start to engage. Wrap your shoulders onto your back. Knees are soft. We're going to fly the arms back the way we did on the floor. Core stays strong. Lift your chin just enough to feel that extension in the spine. So here we are in standing locust. Exhale, slide back down to a forward fold. Take a moment, just release those muscles, wiggle out a little bit. And then press again to your shins. Inhale, standing locust. Squeeze the shoulder blades back, look forward slightly. Exhale, fold. Let's go one more time. Building strength in the back in order to have softness in the front. Exhale, lower. Shake things out. And then halfway again, this time we'll sweep the arms all the way up, meeting an extended mountain. And bring your hands to your heart. So we're getting ready to take our movement up to a little more warming flow. Before we do, I'd love you to just pause for a moment and reflect. Where in my life can I use a little more support, strength, stability? If my back were strong and I could stand firmly on my own 2 feet, upright with dignity, how could I use that in my life? If that created a space for me to open my heart a little more and be a little more vulnerable and soft in my dealings, what would that look like in my life? Let's flow with that inquiry, that intention. Inhale, arms reached. Slow swan dive, forward fold, hinging from the hips. Press halfway. And lower down, forward fold. Reaching up again, deep breath, core strong, lift tall, dignity, and hands to heart. Each time our hands come to our heart, let's just be reminded of this intention. Rise up, strong back, soft front, forward fold, half lift, fold a little deeper, come up through your strength, standing mountain, hands to heart. Friends, let's do that one more time. It's a half salutation. Rise up. Bow down. Lift halfway. Bow even deeper. Cleansing breath. Rise up. And bring your hands to your heart. Let's take our feet a little wider, and you're welcome to turn to the side of your mat if you need a little bit more space on your mat. Moving through some sunflowers for heat. So just lifting high and bowing low. And let's get a little more brisk action here. Little Ujjayi breath. Each exhale, a mini shower, a rinsing. I'm just going to change the movement a little bit. So on the inhale, let the right arm lift and then scoop down. Inhale, let your left arm lift and scoop. You can put a hand on the hip if that feels a little more stable. Side body sunflowers. Building some heat. Good. One more time, both ways. You are beautiful. And hands to heart. Feet closer together. A little warmer. Rise up. Bow forward. Press to a half lift, find that strength, and step back downward facing dog. Let's shift forward into plank pose. And we're gonna hold this for a couple of breaths. Protraction of the shoulder blades, core strong, pressing the earth away. Just feel the strength in the back of your body. And then we'll drop our knees, spin our elbows, and melt down to the ground. All right, we're gonna start to move now from the waist down. So bring your arms behind you, palms down, come up into upper body locust. So arms are lifting, shoulder blades together, middle back lifted, chin forward. Breathe here, everybody. Keep all of your strength, let your fingertips touch the ground, and we're just gonna lift one leg and then the other. We're adding in the glutes. If this creates any sense of strain in your low back, you can keep your feet on the floor and just hold the strength and ditch the movement. And then let your hands come down under your shoulders. Gently lift a little bit more into cobra and then release. Press back, child's pose. Ooh, back's getting stronger, right? It is a lot of effort. It's a different kind of practice than just showing up and stretching, right? We work on the other side of things. Stretch it out. Come to tabletop, tuck your toes, lift your hips. And then we'll take a walk forward, press to half lift, and fold down, fingertips on the floor. And you can use a block for this one if you want to be up a little bit more in a flat back position. We're going to do the same action, lifting the leg, alternating, finding those glutes. So a lot of us forget about the glutes when we're coming into locust. We just kind of crank up through the middle of the back or the low back. And glutes are the prime movers of this pose. Just feel the strength back there. One more time, both sides. And then fold. Soft knees. Come up through your flat back, reach high, extended mountain. And bring your hands to your heart. Awesome, everybody. All right, so now arms to the side. Let's do standing locust. We did kneeling. We're bent over. We did lying on the floor. Palms forward, but arms back as far as you can reach. Good. Arch up through your low back, so shoulder blades together, chin slightly lifted. And we're just gonna touch a toe back, alternating Toes back, so a little bit of balance here. Core stays strong. You're just touching a toe behind you, adding in those glutes. Let's keep the right toes back. Turn the palms toward each other, and you can stay here or interlace. All right, so you really can feel now the way the whole back body gets engaged. If you want a little more challenge, lift that leg, find the glute even more. Deep breaths. And release. Shake it out. Ooh, come back again, palms face or interlace. Left toes back. Inhale to lengthen. Feel the back of your body strong, front soft. You can lift that leg if you want a little more work, a little more effort. Breathe deep, everybody. Feel big. Cleansing breaths. And release. Ooh, shake it out. Awesome. Take a deep breath, arms reach. Audible exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Shifting forward into plank pose. Hold, press into the earth, open up the shoulder blades. And then we'll lower our knees and melt the body to the earth. Arms come behind, palms down. Let's lift the arms, engage the upper back, lift the chin slightly. You can stay here or go to that interlace. Press your toenails into the floor, lift your kneecaps. Breathe here. You're almost there. There's only one more component that we'll add. Bring your hands to the floor, gently press into cobra, and then child's pose. Now we know why child's pose is so helpful. If we've been doing all the back work, it's a great place to go reverse. Just stretch it out. And coming up to tabletop, let's glide our right foot forward and come into a kneeling lunge. So another piece of locust, another barrier, is tight hip flexors and weak ankles. So we're going to work on that a little bit. So here in this kneeling lunge, keep your toes pointed back, but just lift and lower that knee. We did the same thing when we were working with upward facing dog. So moving slow, you can put padding under your ankle if this is uncomfortable or painful. If it's uncomfortable, do it anyway. If it's painful, pad up. And then we're gonna hold. And feel that work of pressing down through the top of your foot, pulling forward with your chest, lengthening hip flexor. And let's drop that knee, tuck the toes and lift the knee again. And now we'll turn the back foot on its side and rise up to a warrior one, nice and easy. Back heel pressing. Good, that hip flexor should be good and ready now. Arms come behind, interlace, open up through the chest. So create upper body locust. Hands interlace, reaching down, shoulders back, shoulder blades together, chin slightly lifted. Breathe and feel. Sweep the arms high. Exhale, hands to mat. Feet come together at the top of the mat. in a forward fold. And I'd like you to pause here to notice left hip and right hip. You should feel kind of different. Lift halfway. Come into a little deeper forward fold. You can grab the backs of your heels and pull down. With soft knees, rise high. And bring your hands to your heart. Good. Should feel a little bit lopsided. I won't forget about the other side. Open up your chest. Come into this open wingspan. Feel the strong back. Feel the soft front. Bring back that intention. And then hands to heart, fold forward. We'll keep our left foot where it is. Step your right foot back and drop your knee to the ground. Toes point back. Let's begin lifting and lowering. Pressing on to the front of that right foot. And again, if it's painful, pad up, make the movement smaller. If it's uncomfortable, good, do it anyway. Building strength and length. Let's come up and hold. And as you press the top of your foot down, pull your chest, your heart, your chin forward. And then we'll release the knee. Tucking the back toes, lift up, turn the foot sideways. Let's rise into warrior one. Feet firm, core strong. So beautiful, everybody. Reach back, palms face or interlace. And then create the upper body locust. Middle back presses forward, shoulder blades wrapping, chin slightly lifting. Breathe. Good, you guys. Release your hands. Bring the arms high. Exhale, hands to mat. Bring the feet together. Forward fold. We'll rise high. And bring the hands to the heart, pausing again. Keep your feet about hips distance apart. Inhale, open into that wide wingspan. Feel that strong back. Good. And then exhale, come down into chair. Let's see if we can move some of that energy around a little bit. When we've been holding strength postures, it's kind of nice to just flow. Cleansing breaths. Hear the sound of your breath. And then opening up, find upper body locust. So from the middle of your back, lift, shoulder blades together, chin slightly lifted. Let your hands come onto your glutes and press your hips forward. Let's add in that hip flexor length and glute strength. So now put all of that together, glutes, low back, middle back, upper back, neck. See if you can maintain this, meaning engage your core, adding in locust arms. So palms facing or interlace. Standing locust. Breathe, everyone. And release. Arms sweep high, bow low. Come into a half lift and step back, downward facing dog. Shifting forward to plank pose. I'm feeling a little bit guilty for calling this gentle yoga, but it's gentle. It's kind of like because it's good for us, right? Let's drop the knees, spin the elbows, and lower into the ground slowly. All right, our hands are going to come underneath our chin. So hands form this little pillow. Legs are going to zip together. Point your toes and lift your kneecaps. So you're feeling really strong legs. And then your lower back gets to decide if this is a green light or not. So you're either going to hold this or lift your toes an inch off the floor and lower them down. Think of having a mermaid tail, and you're lifting from your glutes, not your low back. So it should be a pretty small movement. That's the final piece we're going to add to our locust pose. So relax your legs, shake everything out, and let's put it all together. Here we go. Arms reach, palms down. Let the arms lift first, followed by the middle back. Shoulder blades wrap, chin lifts. Lift a little through your low back, engage your glutes, and either press down through your toes or lift your feet. You can stay here or interlace. This is full Salabasana, locust pose. Strong back, soft fronts. Strong back, courage, strength, confidence, dignity. Soft front, ease, compassion, empathy, love. Release. Turn your head to either side and wiggle out your hips. Very slowly press up and back into child's pose. Let's widen the knees and let's pause here. That was a long time in locust. Let's give it equal time in child's. Your reward for all of that hard work is some deep, yummy stretches for the muscles of the back. And so we're going to start with thread the needle. Go ahead and come up to tabletop, find comfortable knees. Reach your right arm up toward the sky. And then exhale, scoop it through. Come onto the back of your right shoulder. Left arm reaches overhead in a kind of a 90-degree arc. Close your eyes here, my friends, and breathe into that space behind your right shoulder blade. The place where you were working and squeezing so hard. The place where we store hard knots of tension. The backside of our heart represents our past. So this is where we store grief, anger, resentment. This is where if there is a place in our life where we are withholding forgiveness, it will show up here until we're ready to untie that knot and let it go. So give yourself time to breathe and soften these spaces. They're not hurting anyone but you. Let the front of your heart melt backwards, creating some softness with some release. This right side of our body is our feminine side. It's not true, it's our masculine side. I keep getting confused. Right side of our body is our masculine side. So here we might find issues of past relationships with males, or even our own masculinity. Take some deep breaths around this space. And then slowly, slowly release. Come all the way up to your knees and just roll your shoulders out. You might feel that, just a big difference on one side and the other. Walk softly around these spaces. Come to tabletop. Left arm lifts and we'll switch sides. Come all the way under and through, reaching your right arm. And we'll give equal time to the feminine side of our body. Noticing any resistance, tension, pain, tightness here. And if you like, in your mind's eye, just looking backwards to see if there's anything unresolved with a female, a feminine relationship from your past, or even your own goddessness, your own femininity. Breathe healing, soft light into this space. Untying one tiny little knot back there, opening the space for more freedom, more joy. And then gently, gently rise up, come to your knees again, and take very slow and very big circles. Let's bring ourselves around to a seat. You're welcome to use a cushion under your hips if you'd like. We'll be sitting for a moment. Let's bring the fingertips behind, come back into that strength, but a softer strength now. Before we were really forcing and contracting, I'd like you to see if you can find a soft strength behind you. Sthira Sukha, strong but also sweet. Can you find that perfect place between your shoulder blades where there is both strength and sweetness? And then ease yourself to the center. Hands relax. Draw your chin to your chest and let's bring some stretch up into this neck, the cervical spine. A gentle stretch. And then you can just start to roll your chin from collarbone to collarbone. If your chin was a hand on the clock, it would just be going like from 8 o'clock to 4 o'clock, back and forth. And then gently lift your chin, come back to parallel. And again, see if you can feel now in the back of your neck strength and softness. Reaching your arms forward out in front of you. Let's cross the left arm underneath the right. Make a V with your arms. We can go back of the hands touching or bind into eagle. Just a place where you feel more opening in that back, that upper back. We're going to inhale, lift the elbows. Exhale, round the back down. Come as far forward as you can. Inhale to lift. Exhale, lower. And releasing the arms, let the fingertips fall to the floor on either side of you. Let yourself exhale like a shower. Just rinsing off. And then arms come out front and we'll switch left arm under, right arm over. You've got a V or back of the hands touch or a wrap. Find what's perfect for you and then inhale to lift. Exhale, round the back over. Just think of having like one of those long wooden brushes in the shower and you're just cleansing, rinsing the back of the body. Anything that got untied or dislodged now, just loosening, freed up, rinsed away. One more time, lift and lower. And then slowly unwind, let the fingertips settle onto the floor on either side of you. Woo. Awake and alive in the back of the body. Take a deep breath, arms reach. Exhale right through heart center. Let's do that 2 more times. Reach high. Exhale down. Go ahead and lower down onto your back. Knees can stay bent. Feet flat on the floor. Let's inhale up to bridge and exhale back down, knees to chest. So we're just going to flow through that. 2 different movements. Spine extension, we've been there plenty today, but now we're looking for soft strength. Lowering, drawing the knees in. So just back and forth. Thanking the muscles in the back of your body for all the work they do to keep you upright. Acknowledging that you maybe could put a little more effort into the muscles that are supporting great posture. I think we're all guilty of that right now. Just let your body know you're willing to try to restore an upright, strong posture. Hold the knees into your chest and start to move from side to side. A gentle massage. And then we're going to do the same thing with the legs that we did with the arms. So we've got a few options here. First of all, let's drop the left foot. And option number 1 is just to take a figure 4, ankle to thigh. Option 2 is to cross the legs like you would if you were sitting in a chair. You can dangle your foot. Option 3, bind like eagle pose. We'll just have our fingertips behind our head. So any of those positions, we're just going to crunch the legs toward us and away. So this whole practice has been working on length in the front of the body. We're just going to add a little bit of strength, soft strength. So there's balance. You can do this with any of those options. Nice and slow. The next time that foot comes to the floor, let's twist. So opening the arms out into a T, dropping the legs over to the left. They can stay in any of those positions. The head turns to the right. Breathe as deeply and slowly as you can. Let's come back to center, switching sides. So the two sides might be different. Try on figure 4, cross or bind, fingers back, and then just lifting and lowering. Slow motion, soft strength for the front of your body. And the next time the foot comes to the floor, twisting, the knees drop to the right, the head turns to the left. You can soften your eyes and just take some deep breaths. And then coming back to center. Taking any final stretch or movement or adjustment that your body needs, we are on our way into Shavasana. And as you start to find yourself in this last pose, using any props you like, I invite you to feel the earth below you and the connection of the back of your body on the earth. Those two surfaces providing your strength, your safety, your stability here. Let the next breath you take in be full and sweet. And the next breath out, long, slow, and cleansing. Begin to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Gently turn your head from side to side. Start to stretch your body long with a yawn. Anticipation of the rest of your day, just moving into the space, new and fresh. And when you're ready, press yourself up to a seat, finding the earth once again beneath your sitting bones. Wiggle around again to plant, to settle. And then bring your hands to your heart. thumbs touching the sternum, spine tall. I'd like you to feel again into the back of your body with your awareness. Conscious of traveling into this day with strength, stability, an upright posture, a sense of dignity, and also a soft standing, a soft strength. May all of that strength behind us help us open ourselves to what's right in front of us. The people, the experiences that come our way today, may we soften and open. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I love you all. Namaste.